Hello, hello, hello. It's Frida Kabo here, and today we're celebrating. I feel like we should have some glitter and music, and because it's the 100th episode, right? So yeah, we're celebrating. And thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful that you're here because without you, there wouldn't be a podcast. I would only talk to space. And so I'm super grateful that you're here. And yeah, already on the 100th episode, right? Amazing. So today in this episode, I want to do a bit of recap on what I've learned when creating these 100 episodes, but also talk to that one person who wants to start their own podcast, because that is how I create my podcast episodes. I talk to one person about something that I feel like they need to hear. If that is someone else or a client or a friend that I know need to hear this, or if it's myself, I just talk about that. And then if that person hears it, or if someone else hears it, that's totally fine. But just really tune into that one person that needs to hear the message. Because I think that if one person needs to hear it, more people need to hear it as well. So, what do you need to start a podcast? You need to make a decision. And the first decision you need to make is, are you going to start a podcast? Because just like I did, I wanted to start a podcast for a long time. It was in the back of my mind. And one day I finally said, yep, that's enough. I'm just going to do it. Right? So are you really going to start a podcast right now? Because there's time, energy, effort, and money goes into that. And is that something that you have right now? If yes, are you willing to put in the effort? Yes, then just go ahead and do it. If not, that's totally fine too. You don't have to. There's so many different strategies and so many different things that we want to do in life. So are you ready to prioritize creating a podcast? If no, that's totally fine. If you still want to create a podcast, but just not now, then you can put the decision on pause and say, no, I'm not going to do it right now. I want to revisit the decision in 2 months, 3 months, half a year, a year. And then if you can put it in your calendar and say, do I want to start a podcast now? And then you can make a new decision, right? So you don't have to go and think about it all the time and feel like, oh, I should really start a podcast. I really want to start a podcast. But make the decision. Do I want to do it now? And then wait, wait a bit and see, okay, it's now the right time. But if you want to start now, great, you're in the right place. And if not, that's okay too. You can still listen to this. So yeah, decision, start a podcast or not, yes or no? If yes, who are you going to talk to? So who is it that you want to listen to your podcast? Why are you starting a podcast? Why is that important to you? And what is the solution that you want to bring to the world? What is the thing that you feel is missing, or what is on your heart? Like really tune into your why around the podcast, but because that will help you later. But also don't get stuck. If you feel like this is something that you want to do, just start and see where it takes you. And as you go along, you will learn more and you will tweak and you will change. And yeah, my podcast is quite different from when I started. And yeah, I don't want to listen to my first episode. But yeah, I'm just allowing it to be there. I left it there. It's gonna be there. It's my beginning. And if you want to listen to it, you can go back and do that. But it's yeah, it's probably quite cringe. But that's fine, right? We all start somewhere, and I think it's important to show that as well. And yeah, another thing to think about, what is your strategy around podcasts? Like, is it a part of your business strategy to have a podcast? For me, it's relationship building. So if I have someone with a problem, I can send them to one of my episodes where I talk about that. Or if someone is feeling that way, they will probably benefit from working with me. Or if they resonate with my message, if they resonate with who I am, how I talk, or how I converse with people, and then that is a good way in to work with me. Some other people are earning money from advertising and affiliate marketing and all of those. There's so many different ways that you can go about it. But for me, it's a channel to find the right people that could be interested in working with me and, yeah, benefit from hearing the message that I'm conveying and all the ideas and thoughts that I have. The first step could actually be to just start a podcast, to have a podcast. So when I started, I heard that you should have like 3 episodes so people can hear. And when they tune in, they can start listening to more of the episodes. And I had just gone head in and just, no, I've done one. Let's get it out. So then I have to do the second one. So there's really no right or wrong. I think it's good if you have a couple of episodes so people can start listening and listening to more than one. But if not, that's totally fine too. Don't let it hold you back. Remember, it's just the beginning and you will get into it. Yeah, so what do you need to start a podcast? Well, I use Buzzsprout. I have put the link below if you want to use Buzzsprout as well. It's a really good platform for getting your podcast out. So before you put your episode there, you need to have the recording. I use Zoom. You need to have a mic. You need to make a decision if you want to be alone or if you have a conversation or if you want to do both like I do or if you want to do something totally different. Of course, if you want to have video or audio, and I just started with audio and now I've gone over to YouTube as well because they started their podcasts tab. So yeah, I thought I'm doing the conversations on Zoom anyway and recording them. So why not use the video as well on YouTube? If you're listening to this and you want to see me, you can just head over to YouTube and like and subscribe there. That would be very helpful. But yeah, you just decide where do you want to be? What is easiest for you? Is it just, for me, it was just starting with audio because then I didn't have to think about what I look like or what I needed to wear, right? So that made it easy for me to start. So start, especially as sensitives, we can overcomplicate things, overthink things, and also feel like things are so big. So really chunk it down to smaller parts. What is the first step? What is the next step? So really make it so easy for us so we can start and we can get somewhere and we can check the boxes. But yeah, in this episode, I will share an affiliate link to Buzzsprout. I really love that platform because it has, when you upload your podcast episode to Buzzsprout, they will help you spread it all across all the different platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all of the other names. They also have a sound filter that will help your audio to sound better. And they do have a free course as well to help you get everything set up. So yeah, I really recommend that if you're a beginner in podcasting and you want to start a podcast, check the link below and you will get $20 off, and I will get $20 off mine as well when you sign up for a paid subscription with Buzzsprout. So yeah, this is my first kind of link recommendation in my podcast, and well, let's see how it goes. If you want to contribute, you can just click and sign up there if you are starting a podcast and it works for you. So yeah, that's one thing you can do, like talk about things that you really like and you really use, and then you can do it the affiliate way. So what results have I got? I know that there are so many different ways you can do a podcast. There's so many different goals that you can have with your podcast. So for me, it's important to set a goal that I can control. So what I have been able to control is to do a podcast episode every week. And now I'm already under 100. So I would say that it is successful. And then set the intention to contribute with what I want to contribute with in the world. And for me, that is world peace. I want to contribute to world peace. And I think that that starts from the inside. And I think that that starts with embracing ourselves as much as possible and creating a life and business that works for us. And I hope that this podcast is contributing to you feeling a bit more grounded in yourself and embracing yourself more and hearing other people in the same situation and hearing about thoughts and ideas and things that you might think about and that will help you. So how is it really going with my podcast? 100 episodes. That doesn't really say that much. So I wanted to share some stats as well. Usually I have, from the start, I have 20 to 140 downloads per episode. Some episodes had 20 and some had up to 140. And I really see a difference when I share, or depending on who I'm having the conversation with. And I really love the conversations. Like my strategy is relationship building. It is with you who are listening, but also with those people that are coming on the podcast. And I've been doing my summit with a lot of them as well, and coming on to their podcast and stuff. So it's really a win-win-win situation. That is my main goal as well, to really create a win-win-win situation. And more stats, I've had from 30 to almost 500 downloads in a month, and now I'm around 50 downloads a week. And yeah, I guess to some that sounds really low, but imagine having those people in a room, 50 people in a room every week listening to the podcast, listening to what I have to say, or what my guest has to say. I think that's amazing. So I'm really happy with that. And I see also that it's increasing, and that means that people like it and want to hear more. So that's winning for me. It really depends on what I'm talking about, but also who I have on as a guest and how much they share to their audience. So what is important with a podcast? Well, in the beginning, I was like, really, who am I to do this? What do I have to say? Panic. But really trust the message. Let the message be the message. Don't overcomplicate it. If I don't have that much to say that week, that's okay. It's okay if it's just 5-minute episode. Maybe that is exactly what someone needed to hear. But just get it out there is kind of my goal. And there is no right or wrong way. It's your way. So yeah, there's lots of strategies and courses and things around podcasting that you can go and create and do. And there's so many strategies that you can follow, and that's okay. If you want to do that, that's okay. But if you don't want to do that, then yeah, don't just do you, right? So see what works for you, experiment with it, see it as an experiment and not too serious, right? We're in business also to be able to have some fun. So I think that was it for today. I've really been thinking. I've probably been overthinking this episode, to be honest. And I feel it's a bit all over the place. But I'm just going to let it be there and let it be as it is. And that's also something that I've learned. If I wanted to have it perfect, or if I wanted to have it exactly the way I wanted it, I would never put it out. It wouldn't have been a podcast, and definitely not 100 episodes, because I would still be with the first one. I would still do the first one perfect before I could let it out. But yeah, just allowing it to be as it is, and allowing kind of that authentic feel to it has really helped me to just get it out. And I know that people have got value from it, and I know that my guests are enjoying their podcasts and get value from them as well. So yeah, that's kind of what is important to me. So decide really what is important to you. Is it to have 1 million downloads or 1 million subscribers or whatever, right? We can aim for that big thing, but it's also okay not to have that amazing goal. What I'm trying to say is you do you, and not everyone needs to have that international, or well, I do have the international audience and listeners all over the world. I'm really grateful for that. But I'm also aware that that is not what everyone is going to do. Some have their clients and audiences really local, and that's totally fine too, right? So that's the amazing thing with the online world and the world right now, that we can We can choose, but we can also tune into what is right for me. There are so many different avenues, so many different information, strategies, and yeah, one strategy won't fit everyone. So just get started, experiment, and see what is right for you. And yeah. So wonderful. If you want to come onto my podcast, I will put the link below to register to become a guest on my podcast. I have some amazing guests in line, and I'm looking forward to even more. Or if you have something that you would like me to talk about, you can also submit that below so I can really deliver something that is valuable to you. But yeah, thank you so much for being here again. And if you are thinking about starting a podcast and you feel like the time is now, just go for it. Just do it. Put it out in the world. Someone will benefit from it. First, it's one person, then it's more, then it's more, then it's more, right? So just do it. Don't keep yourself or what you want to say a secret. It needs to get out in the world. Have a good day. Talk to you soon.